Good morning, everyone. I wanted to do a quick video to talk about how to find the vertex of a parabola, which is also about how to find the maximum or minimum of a parabola. And we're going to use this math to do our project that we're going to work on next week. And it is going to have to do with the idea of designing gardens. But right now, let's just talk about this math problem. A parabola, we've talked about it in simpler forms than this, but a parabola in standard form is a trinomial, ax squared plus bx plus c. And whenever you have a trinomial like that, you can find the vertex starting with a simple formula. It's a very important formula, and that's why I've called it the important formula for the x value of the vertex. The vertex of the parabola is just the point that's either the maximum if it's a downward facing parabola, or the minimum if it's an upward facing parabola. And so there's an x value and a y value for that, and we'll start with the x value. So the formula is negative b over 2a, using a, b, and c as the values for a and b. So right here I've got a parabola, y equals 3x squared minus 12x plus 5. And just from reading that, I can say that a is 3, b is negative 12, and c is positive 5. For this formula and for the x value of the vertex, I don't need to use c, I just need to use these two numbers. And so I'm going to write negative b over 2a. The x value of the vertex is negative b, which is negative 12, over 2 times a, which is 3. Negative b over 2 times a. And when I do that, a negative of a negative value is positive. 2 times 3 is 6. So I have 12 divided by 6. Which is 2. That's the x value of my vertex. Well, I can find the y value by just substituting 2 in here. And I'm going to go a step further here. I'm going to actually graph this parabola. And I'm going to take this x value of 2 and put it on my x, y table, my input-output table. I'm going to put 2 right in the middle of the table. This is important. I'm going to do kind of what I was doing in the other videos, and I'm going to graph 5 points. I'm going to start with 2 in the middle, and I'm going to pick 2 numbers that are before 2 and 2 numbers after 2. So the x values I'm going to use are going to be 1 and 0 here, and then after 2, 3 and 4. And this value here is going to be my vertex. So all we need to do now is take all of these values and substitute for x. And we can go ahead and start and do that for this here. So first I'll start with 0. 3 times 0 squared minus 12 times 0 plus 5. When I do that, I get 0 squared is 0 times 3 is 0 minus 12 times 0. That's all 0, and I just get a 5. So that's pretty convenient. The next one, when x is 1, I do 3 times 1 squared minus 12 times 1 plus 5. Well, 1 squared is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 12 times 1, that's 3 minus 12. So that's going to be negative 9 plus 5. Negative 9 plus 5 is going to be negative 4. Now I'm going to substitute 2 for x. So 3 times 2 squared minus 12 times 2 plus 5. 2 squared is 4. And I'm going to actually write this one out. 3 times 4, 12 times 2 is 24. So that's going to be 3 times 4 is 12, minus 24 plus 5. That's negative 12 plus 5. I get negative 7. Now, so this one, I got here. All of this work that I did here is to find my vertex. So we can keep substituting these values in. If I substitute 3 for x, I'm going to get 3 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3. Well, 3 times 3 squared, this 3 times 9, 27, minus 36 plus 5. 27 minus 36 is going to be negative 9 plus 5, and I get negative 4 again. In fact, this is a parabola. The leading coefficient is a positive number, 3. That means it's going to be a facing up, a happy face parabola. And see how this negative 4 repeated? Well, the next number is going to be 5 if you do the math. If I put in a 4, 4 squared is 16. 3 times 16 is 48. 12 times 4 is also 48. 48 minus 48 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. So that's how that table works. Once I've got the table, I can graph. And I need to make my scale set up, so I'm just going to graph the positive values here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the positive x values, but there are some negative y values. So I need to go down to a minimum of negative 7 and a maximum of positive 5. So 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. And just graph all my points. So 0, 5, 1, negative 4, 2, negative 7, my vertex. 3, negative 4, I'm going back up, and then 4, 5. So I'm going to connect all of those dots now, and when I do, I get this curve which is a parabola, and you see my minimum value down here. That's the vertex, which is 2, negative 7, which was the whole point of this exercise, to be able to find it, but you can also see how we graph it as well. So that is the lesson for today, and I will be back with another video shortly to get us started on the project that we're going to be working on. Have a good day.